So today I'm glad to present our guest, Daria Sidneva, who will introduce Maldives in general and present different accommodation options for different segments of your clients. During the webinar, you are welcome to write your questions to our guest in question answer window on this platform. At the end of presentation, Daria will give the answers to your questions. So, dear Daria, the stage and time is yours.
Thank you, Simona. Let me introduce myself once more time. I'm Daria, and I'm working for Maldives destination almost 5 years and 10 years in tourism. At the moment, I'm the head of marketing in Resort Life, and at the moment we are one of the leading destination management company in Maldives for incoming guests to our wonderful islands. Sorry, I have something with connection, I think. Yes. At the moment, we are 14 years old company, and we are really working with different markets at the moment. It's mostly guests whom we are inviting. It's guests from Russia, it's Ukrainian, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Eastern Europe, Saudi Arabia, Asia markets, but at the moment, unfortunately, they stay at home. They are not allowed to travel to Maldives or otherwise in any places. And of course, we are very interested and keen to welcome your guests from Baltic countries in our wonderful paradise. This year it will be 15th years of our company, and we are really very keen, and we are going to make a lot of different special offers, especially for our partners, different online and offline events to promote our beautiful destinations more. Simona tells that it's a wonderful place for romantic holidays, yeah, for luxury resorts and wonderful white sand. I can add a lot of during this webinar that could be change your mind about the Maldives, because Maldives, I can say that it's destination to whom you can come during the all year round, yeah, because our climate is very comfortable during winter, summer, autumn, or even spring, yes, and it's very wonderful weather conditions regarding the air, regarding the temperature of the ocean, nice possibilities for those who are traveling with small children, because we have a lot of kids club here, and for those who are challenging to go to Maldives if they like all-inclusive meal plans, they also can find it at the moment in Maldives in a lot of resorts. So this webinar, as it's the first webinar from us to your market, we would be happy to share with you some more common information about us, some more common information regarding Maldives, for what main points, key points, selling points should be mentioned from your side, yes. And we are also very keen to share with you some needful list of the hotels with best places for house reef, all-inclusive, honeymooners and families. Yes, I think it will help you to choose the correct options for your tourists. For the first moment, I want to say that at the airport, we for sure we have our own representative. At the moment, it's a girl named Zhanna. Zhanna is from Ukraine. Our company has many offices, and regarding last year, which was very challenging for all of us, we are happy to say that all our staff is with us, stay with us. We even increase our staff, as at the moment we have really a lot of guests to Maldives. As maybe you may know, at the end of 2020, Maldives became the leading world's destination. And we are happy to say that our company did a great job to make it happen. At the moment, we're receiving weekly a lot of charters from our partners from Russia, from Ukraine, which was happening just first time ever, yes, with direct flights to Maldives, and some other countries as well, including Bulgaria. Our guests in the airport invited by our staff. It's not only Zhanna. Zhanna is Russian speaking, Ukrainian speaking, and of course English speaking. Unfortunately, at the moment we are not speaking Lithuanian or Latvian, and we are very sorry for that. But as much as the guests will be traveling with us, we will fix this. When your guests arrive to Maldives, they pass a passport control. Yes, as you may know, everyone who is coming to Maldives receive free of charge stamp like a tourist visa for 30 days. At the moment, we faced with the following situation when the guests arrive to Maldives and they want to extend their stay. So it's also very possible to do. We also can help with that. It's not a big fee. It's around $50 per pax. And for sure, it's due to immigration policy in Maldives, but it's really a very not very hard to do. Regarding those who are traveling with different expectation to Maldives, I can say that in Maldives you will be invited with our airport team. They are very keen to welcome everyone. Usually when you receive your luggage and you're going to enter to our very comfortable airport, yeah, I may say that Vilana International Airport, the only international airport in the Maldives nowadays, which is working, and invites a lot of flights at the moment, yeah, especially all mornings. I can say that it's very comfortable, and for many years it becomes one of the best airport in Indian Ocean countries, as it's quite comfortable. Yes, it's impossible to be lost in it, even if you are not very good with foreign languages. Yes, as we always faced with our guests, especially from CIS countries. Anyway, our staff is reaching your guests, our guests, with title of Resort Life, or if you are traveling with tour group, Tour Baltics, yes, we wear uniform. Yes, it's blue one. But anyway, sometimes guests can just pass through and did not see our staff. So at this moment, they can find our counter named 27. Yes, it's just in front of the entrance after receiving the luggage, and it's no problem to come there and to receive your vouchers and to be transferred to your wonderful holidays in each resort. Regarding our services, I may say that it's 24 hours, 7 days a week, and it's not just simple words. Yes, this year, especially last autumn, we faced with a lot of requests from all over the world, not only from our common partners. Yeah, we may say that a lot of travel agencies started to work for Maldives and started to be needed in information regarding Maldives. Yes, because somebody starts to sales Maldives just first time. So we have our hotline working 24 hours, 7 days a week. It's for our guests. If something happened with the guests on the islands, they always can receive the needful support. They can do it through all messengers, Viber, Telegram, WhatsApp, Signal, anything which they are using. If they need any support from resorts, they also can receive it. Yes, if they are not using, I don't know, maybe messengers, or they are maybe have some other issues. Yes, all resorts also can they can come to reception and to ask to call to this number which was mentioned to them in the airport in the memory list which we are providing to our guests on arrival. As I said, Russian and English speaking representatives in the airport. Yes, it's very simple for us to communicate with our guests, and always in touch. If something needful, we can organize very specially, yeah, because sometimes our guests need, I don't know, maybe fruits on departure, yeah, to be taken, or maybe some tuna, or I don't know, it could be anything, yes. Sometimes it also could be happen like last few weeks, our guests from different countries forgot their medicine, yes, and we also provide this delivery. So we always do our best for our clients, and you can be sure that they really will be feel very comfortable with us. The main next slide, I want to pay your attention because it's really quite important at the moment. As you may know, the world pandemic brings to us a lot of challenges, but I make you sure that to Maldives, it's, I guess, much more easier than for all of the countries. So the main things you need to know that there is no changes regarding the visa on arrival. As it was before and now and after when our borders was open, it was happened on the 15th of July. So almost half a year we are working really hard. 30 days visa on arrival, still free of charge for everyone, every citizenships who is coming to Maldives. Regarding quarantine on arrival, yes, because some destinations, they provide these options, or 10 or 14 days quarantine on arrival. Please pay your attention that Maldives has this quarantine, but it's only for locals who is back to Maldives from other countries, and only for expats who is working in Maldives, yes, and has business visa. It's not allowed to tourists. When tourists come to Maldives and they have no any symptoms, they have their negative PCR test, they will go directly to resorts and no quarantine them. Yeah. The next main point which you may notice for yourself, yes, we have the latest restrictions which were provided by Maldives government for all of us. It was updated on the 15th of October, yes, nothing changed from that time. So to arrive to Maldives, the only thing you need to do is to pass PCR test on arrival. Yes, excuse me, not on arrival, to pass PCR test not earlier than in 96 hours before arrival to Maldives. It means like you need to pass it before the first flight to Maldives if you have not direct flight, like, I don't know, via Istanbul or via Dubai or via Qatar, via Doha, or if it's direct flight from the start, before the start of the direct flight. There is no any mentioned laboratories or medicine things, yeah, where you need to pass this PCR test. Like, as I may know, it was before. I have no idea how it's at the moment, but I know that Dubai was asking to pass this PCR test in special places. Yeah, we are not requiring here it in Maldives, so it only should be a passed and it should be mentioned that it's negative. Yes, to pay attention that the guests are healthy, and it need to be in English only. Maldives not required it in printed version, but we highly recommend it to have it both. It will be nice to have it like screenshots or uploaded file on guests' devices, but it's rather also have to have it on printed version, because sometimes guests could not find this picture in their mobile phones, or I don't know, delete it or lost it, so it's better to have it, yes. And sometimes it also depends of human sources, so on immigration they can ask to have it unprinted, but it's not allowed like officially. Regarding small kids who is traveling with children, please pay your attention that Maldives is not asking to pass PCR tests for small infants before 1 year. But you may know that regarding policies of resorts, hotels, and airlines, infants means before 2 years. Regarding Maldives PCR test, it mentioned like before 1 year old. If the child is older than 1 year, but it's still infant, it should be passed the PCR test to come to Maldives. And the main thing that you may fix for yourself, because without this main point, it will be impossible to reach the Maldives, to cross the border, because you will feel it on arrival. health declaration form. It should be filled not earlier than in 24 hours before arrival to Maldives and before departure. What does it mean? I will share with Simone and my partners in TUI Baltic this link, or I can put it in chat while I'm finished. It's imuga.com.mv government. Yes, is I'm not correctly, but for sure it's imuga, short word. It means that in this health declaration, it's like immigration form where you put all the needful information about yourself, like name, surname, passport details, date birth, and dates of stay in the Maldives, start and the end. Address here, it means the first property where you will stay. If you stay like split stays in 2 resorts or even more, you always put the first one, yes. And it also includes the needful information, like where you have been before you arrived to Maldives for last 14 days, what is your symptoms, did you have that. You need to fill all the form, and of course, if you will put that you had some issues on arrival, you could be provided some extra questions. So please pay your attention. This health declaration is very important. For those guests who are not allowed to use English, it's sometimes could be very challenging because it's provided only in English. So I'm sure that you support your guests if they are not allowed. So please help them to fulfill this form. I also will share with you a link which we made and share via our official Instagram and my personal as well. As we faced that for someone it's really could be very challenging, but it's really very simple. So we put a lot of notes how to do it quickly and simple. After fulfill this form in health declaration, you also upload your negative PCR test. You upload your small photo. It should be not more than 2 MB, yeah, because if it's have more size, the form will back you at the start, yeah, and you need it will be very heavy for this form. After the end, when you will fill everything, you will receive QR code. It's very important for you to make print screen or to save it for you, because arrival immigration will require it for it. Yes, so it's very important. While you are going to departure, if your country is not asking you to have a negative PCR test while you're back from Maldives, so you need to mention it on arrival form that like Baltic country is not required for negative PCR test on back road. And on departure form, you no need to add your negative PCR test, as the country is not asking for that. So everything is very simple. Otherwise, if we have guests who need to pass the PCR test, or it also depends regarding Russia, yes, if the guest with citizenship of other countries who are living in Russia, because we know that sometimes guests can travel from many different parts of the world. Yes, we can also advise for those who has different foreign ship from Russia, and they from Maldives they back to Russia. They had to pass this PCR test regarding Russian Federation measures. Resorts also providing this option for the guests. In each resort, our guests can pass this test. It's chargeable. It depends regarding that place where our guests are staying. So if it's guest houses, it could be around $100 plus taxes. If it's luxury resorts, it could be not more than 180. Yes, as I remember, it was the most expensive which I have seen. So everything is pretty clear, nothing challenging here. Yes, I hope that this information is really understandable. So this presentation I also will share with our team in TUI Baltic. So if you need this information extra, we will share it with you also. Regarding transfers, I would like to say a few points and back before. As you may know, in Maldives, we are not using the brand buses or brand individual transfers like some cars, because we are based on the water, yes, and all resorts based on the island. Each island, it's one resort. We have some different options like Anantaras, yes, because Anantara Digo, Anantara Valley, and Maladu, it's 3 properties on 3 islands based close to each other, and you can join 3 of them by just walking through the bridges. Yes, but we have just few options like this in Maldives. So we have different types of transfers. Speedboats. It means that our guest who is arriving, and if their property provide them speedboat transfer, usually it's allowed to those resorts who is located the closest to Maldives airport. Yeah, so it usually takes not more than 2 hours. 2 hours, it means just the more far located property like, I don't know, Elaidu by Cinnamon in Ari Atoll. What about the quality of the speedboat? Usually it depends regarding where you are staying, because all speedboats and yachts, they are belongs to the properties. So if you are staying in a budgetly property, you have small speedboat. If you are staying in a luxury resort like, I don't know, One and Only or Waldorf Astoria, it will be a very nice yacht with needful conditions, drinks, restroom, and Wi-Fi on board while you are reaching your property. Regarding domestic flights, domestic flights usually operate like speedboats also during all day, all night. Yes, they can fly anytime. And we have 3 domestic airlines at the moment in Maldives. The first one is FlyMe. Its company belongs to the holders of to Villa Hotels, yes, and they operated mostly to Mamigili domestic airport in Ari Atoll. Actually, a very beautiful atoll where you can find a lot of different marine life. I also will explain what I mean. We have also here Maldivian Airlines, yes, which is operating to others domestic airports. By the way, at the moment in Maldives we have 10 domestic airports, yeah. And Manta Air. Manta Air belongs to the same owners of Kandima Maldives and Riolo, and it's very beautiful, the newly opened, I can say, airlines which just operated for maybe 2 years, and they both have domestic flights and seaplane, which is really very comfortable. So I can say that these planes, they are not so huge as international flights. Yes, as you may know, it's just not more than 50 seats usually, and it helps our guests to reach the properties quite quick. And if the guests are choosing resorts very far from Velana International Airport, like on the north part, like J. Manafaro or Hideaway, or on the south like Kayada, Amaria, and others, or even on the Equator, I can say that the longest flight can take 50 minutes or even 1 hour 20 minutes, so it depends. At the moment, I can say that during after pandemic, we faced with the following moments, that sometimes the planes from domestic airlines, they can make extra stopovers. Yes, so sometimes the guests who reach one plane, they are transferred not just to one atoll, not just to one domestic airport. So if you are traveling, I don't know, to Hideaway on the northern part of Maldives, during your road, you can stay in, you can sit in 40 minutes in other airport. The people who was with your passengers, they just go out. Some other came back in the airport, yeah, and then you had a flight to next airport, yeah. Yes, it could be happen. It's also very challenging for all of us, but we would be very grateful if you can explain everything, all this information properly to your clients. So anytime we will be happy to provide you as much information as we may have. Regarding the seaplanes, I may say that. For firstly, seaplanes is operating only on daylight time. So in Maldives, it's usually from sunrise to sunset. So in Maldives, as we are very close to equator, we have half 24 hours we have during the day, yes, and 12 hours in Maldives it's night, and 12 hours it's our daylight. So it's really not like in all the countries, it's very properly to count. So since 6 in the morning till almost from 4 to 6, even I can say that at 5:30 it's usually the latest flight, yes, and it also depends on weather conditions. Most important thing that seaplane operated not only in daylight but regarding the weather conditions. So if we have very heavy rain, safety measures first, it would not have the flight. I also may say that it's very important to know that the seaplanes have just around not more than 15 seats. And if your guests are allowed to travel with their surfboards, yes, they may know that sometimes this extra luggage could be transported to resort with another seaplane, yes, with the next upcoming, because these small planes can take into the air just some constant weight on the board, including the guests, passengers, and including the all luggage on board, yes. It's not a big deal, it's not a huge problem, but sometimes we also are required to inform our guests, because sometimes it could be very challenging for us with some panic from our guests that the luggage will be lost, but it would not be. It just depends on the weight on the plane. And I must say that with myself, I have few times the same situation, and in 1 or 2 hours with next flight, my luggage was also arriving. So it's not a problem, not a reason to be panic, but the more information the guests know, the more calm they are. At the moment, regarding the airlines, I also want to mention, because when you have an international flight, Emirates, Turkish Airlines, also Qatar Airlines, they would like to provide us a lot of kgs, yes, and we are very happy to take as much as we can to Maldives, yeah, especially if we say regarding the moms or who's traveling with children or ladies or honeymooners. But anyway, please pay attention for your guests. The domestic airlines and seaplanes has allowed not more than 20 kgs in the main luggage. Yes, so if you come in with Qatar and you are holder of 30 kgs, you may face that you will pay extra penalties for each extra kg. One extra kg at the moment is around $5. So hand luggage for domestic is 5 kg. It means like it's some city backpack or some bag for your laptop or small bag for lady. And for hand luggage for seaplane, it was changed after COVID to 3 kg. But no worries, if you are traveling with I don't know, like a couple or with family, and each of you has the same conditions with 20 kgs and 5 kgs, you can split to each other and be provide chicken like all together and split this thing. But if you have someone single who is traveling like that, and the hand luggage is overweight, or you need to pay extras, or you need to move it to your main luggage. So some short information. Safety measures, please. We are working with Maldives after opening borders, I guess almost more than half a year. And I can say that we were really worried regarding the safety measures in Maldives, because we know that Maldivians, they are very, feels like, you know, in Spanish we have this word like mañana. They're very calm. They are very slowly sometimes, because when you are arriving to Maldives after a huge city, it always feels you like something going on here. Yes, very quietly, very calm. And regarding safety measures, I may say that Maldivians here are faced with this measure, and they did their best. Yes. Because the tourism field is one of the main fields which is feeding Maldives at the moment and before COVID and always. And I can say that each property which is opened nowadays in Maldives has approval from the government that each of the safety measures, and it's a huge circular for 32 pages, that all of these safety measures is provided to the guests on the island, and it brings more guarantees to resort not to faced with COVID cases, because each COVID cases brings really huge not only problems but also loss. For the island, if the island need to be closed for quarantine, it's a really huge loss for resorts in all the fields. So for the moment, when the guests are going to travel to Maldives, they need to know that they will face with temperature screening, not only on arrival to airport, international airport, but also before transfer, speedboat, domestic or seaplane, whatever. On arrival to resort, it obviously would be also temperature screening, and on departure as well. And by the way, it also happening with the guests on daily basis before they are coming to breakfast time. Yes, when you are coming to a main restaurant, you will face this moment, and in the evening, yes, during the dinner. So you also can control your symptoms, how you feel, and notice. Regular sanitizing, public areas, bars, restaurants, spa, gyms, all accommodations, each villas. When you are going to enter to your villa, you may see the title that the villa was disinfected, sanitized, and everything here was made really correctly. You also may know that after pandemic and after the borders were open again, I must say that nowadays, you would not happen like when the guests are coming to the island and they need to wait for check-in because someone is cleaning their room. No. Before each guest are coming, villa usually at the moment stays around 24 hours, in some resorts for 48 hours, with totally disinfected. And the guest who is arriving, they can be sure that not more than any bacteria were based here on the arrival. It also the same situation with pools and staff's areas. Regarding the staff, in each property you may see on arrival that every staff wear masks. Yeah, it's not allowed to the guests when they are walking on the beach or they are located at their own villa, or they are at the territory, or I don't know where is this, anything, any place. But if you are visiting spa, some properties will require you to wear a mask, yes, during the massage. If you are going to some public areas or breakfast, lunch or dinner, when you going to enter the restaurant, you need to sanitize your hands, yes, on the enter. You need to wear your mask, or each property will provide you a new one. And while you, if you have buffet, you will, while you're collecting food, you wear a mask, but while you're sitting, yes, you will remove and take your time. I also may say that in each resort, in each bar and the restaurants, all the tables also have this social distance. And I may say that at the moment, I'm almost 3 months in Maldives, and I can say that here it feels like the normal life. It really feels here like there was no COVID or no pandemic. We see the face masks with the staff. We also wear this mask while we are collecting the food. But in compared to the city life in Russia or Ukraine or other countries, I must say that in Maldives you really feels like everything is normal. So I'm sure that the guests who are really allowed to travel and really miss the ocean, the very nice atmosphere, and want to reload themselves, they really will feel very comfortable here. I also want to make some main points, yes, to not provide you so huge information as I've made. So it was the hardest part of the presentation, yes, to put all these details. Why Maldives? Yeah, because when I always hear that Maldives it's only a expensive destination, it's only for couples, for romantic trips, yes, after weddings, or it's just for divers, I may say that you are wrong. Maldives at the moment is able to invite almost everyone. Yes, everyone is going to find here something for themselves, because it's even not bored like some of even my friends always tells me. Yes, and we are really happy when we receive very nice feedbacks when the guests really surprised that, oh, we spent wonderful vacation here in Maldives, and we are not expected that it's really not boring, and we really have no any time to have a rest because we had so much experience here. So what kind of experience do we can have in Maldives? Dolphins. Dolphins, it's one of the most popular excursion in Maldives, yes, and I may say that I'm not trying to sell this excursion to you, I want to share with you. As you may know, in Maldives, not know of DMC, we are not selling excursions like in other destinations. Each of excursions our guests can buy on resort or in guest house, wherever they stay. So each the prices could be different, but it's always a little bit similar to each other. So if you want to see dolphins, I highly recommend you to stay in Budgetly, Cinnamon Valley. They always catch the dolphins close to their area on evening excursion, and it's always a lot of them, and they're jumping. And I must say that I have a really huge experience in Maldives. I saw maybe more than 70 properties at the moment. And not everywhere I saw the dolphins, and as you may know, not all resorts has a contracts, direct contracts with the dolphins, but in some properties it's always allowed to see them, and it's really very wonderful pleasure. The turtles, I may say that regarding Maldivian government, they really take care of them, and in some properties you may find even the nest of the turtles with turtle eggs, and even in one of the biggest islands in Maldives, it's Kuredu, they have like turtle road. So at that place they have nests of turtles, and when the times come and the turtle started to be birthed, they have the road while they are going to the ocean. And I must say it's also unforgettable experience to see like turtles brings his pets to the ocean, to its new life. Manta rays, it's my passion. I may say that even if you are not allowed to have snorkeling, diving, you don't like marine life, you are even not interested in Maldives, you should come. You should come. You should visit. You should see this incredible marine life. Usually, a lot of them it's possible to see in Ba Atoll, in UNESCO World Heritage Hanifaru Bay. The best part of the year to come here to see it, it's from May till start of December. And I can say that this year it was incredible count of mantas, and they're really very huge. They can be in diameter more than 5 meters. And for sure, the first seconds of the snorkeling in Hanifaru Bay, it's always very scary. but the time goes very fast, and each excursion has not more than 45 minutes with a special Hanifaro Bay snorkeling guide, and it's the best emotions which you can bring back to home, extend of very beautiful sun, nice ocean, marine life fathers, and the white sand. I highly recommend to everyone to see them. Wild sharks. They're not dangerous. The first point that I meant to say, they mostly based in Area Atoll, especially close to Lux, South Area Atoll, to Lily Beach, to Mirihi Island, small artificial island in Maldivian style, which is very popular between European guests. And I must say that here you can see not even one of these wild sharks. They are also one of the biggest sharks at our life. And they are not dangerous to the people because they eat just the plankton, so as do mantas. That's why they are not dangerous for us, and it's also a very unforgettable experience to see it here. Yes, you know, in the Maldives, it's very popular to have something underwater. Yes, some underwater experience. At the moment, we have, as I'm correct, 6 underwater restaurants. One of them is H2O at Huravali Maldives at Laviani Atoll. It's one of the best cuisine which the guests can have here, and it's really a nice idea for those who are going to make proposal or to celebrate some anniversary, birthday, anything. So here they have dinner option for 7 cuisines and 7 sets, sorry, and lunchtime for 5. But please be sure that the dishes looks not only amazing, they really makes you full very soon after second or the third. And I must say that the price is also not very huge in compare how it was in Maldives quite before 5 or even more years ago. I must say that it's around 200 250 per pax without drinks. So it also compare. Fresh and Garden in Fushi. It's also unforgettable experience with possibility to see the Maldives like from the bird eye. Yes, because usually Maldives it's all close to the ocean. Nothing higher. Yes, because in Maldives we do not have any mountains. Nothing very high. That's why here it's something incredible. Sky Bar in Anantara it's always interesting. They have different cocktails with the name of the planet, the name of the stars, and in the evening it looks like this. The Marina, Crossroads Maldives, the huge project which will open in 2019, and it really was unexpected for all of us because it became something unusual. It's the totally made islands by the humanity. We know that it's very common to Dubai, to United Emirates, but for Maldives, it's the first project of handmade islands. Here you can find the Hard Rock Maldives and Sail Lagoon Curio by Hilton. Very nice properties, very average prices with Hard Rock Cafe also in it, and the cutest marina in the Maldives at the moment. So we also highly recommend you, and it's just in 10 minutes by speedboat from International Airport. So I'm reaching one of the latest updates which I want to share with you, and if you want you can make screenshots. I also will share this presentation to our partners. Yes, I'll repeat again, and you can upload it for yourself. But please pay attention that it's not means that all properties with adults only placed in this picture. Yes, we also have more of them, but it's the main that I want you to be highlighted. So adults only. The first point is Corredo Island, Corredo Resort. It's a huge island, the second hugest after Sun Island, yes, at the moment. And the one part of the island, Sango Island, with a beautiful sandbank, very long, is adults only. So they are not allowed to have guests with children at this part. So it's very calm, very quiet, very comfortable, and a lot of European guests or retired also stay here. Cinnamon Hagura Hura, it's a place in Platinum Island. It was newly built just 2 years ago, and they have only 20 villas there, and they have also bridge which is connected with the main island. Drift Eloveliga, accepting guests now with children just 12 plus. Centaurus Fush is the same, and it's very close to Velam International Airport. We are going just by speedboat. Kandolo, Maldives, it's a atoll where whale sharks are living, yes, and it's only 6 plus guests. You and me by Maldives by Cocoon in Ratol, sorry. It's also 16 plus, so it's only couples. It's Italian brand, and it's very small, but they have a very huge varieties of water villas, which are called Manta villas, Dolphin villas, and many others. Barros, Maldives, for the guests who can choose VIP. Deluxe properties, 8 plus only. Robinson Clubs, I also think that you may know, because it also belongs to TUI, with very nice options regarding all-inclusive. Milaidov, also for the guest who is expecting more luxury facilities in Maldives, it's 9 plus. Anantara Valley, very close to international airport, so we are going there by just speedboat. And we also have possibilities to have facilities in Anantara Digu, because it's just connection with the bridges. Kagi Spa Resort, it belongs to Crown and Champa main chain. The moment they include 10 resorts. So Kagi Spa is newly opened. It was just open after pandemic, and they have just around 50 villas. 12 plus. Hura Valley, Maldives is very, and Kudadu, they are very close to each other, and both of them are not accepting children. But after pandemic, Kudadu is starting to accept children only for 2-bedroom family villas. So please pay your attention. Family resorts. Sorry, I'm become very thirsty. Family resorts. At the moment, we have a lot of them, and be sure that it's also not the full list, but I want to pay your attention with some options. Cinnamon Valley is one of the average price price and quality. Yes, so we can say that Cinnamon Valley is one of the best in this field. It's only 10-15 minutes by speedboat. It was totally renovated at the end of December 2019. So I may say that as 2020 almost was closed for everyone, so we can say that it's just 1 year renovated almost. Digofaro Island was also renovated and was reopened after lockdown. They added 14 new villas. I also will pay your attention on it. Villa hotels, at the moment, they have 5 properties: Fun Island, 3-star property, Sun Island, Royal Island, Holiday Island, and Paradise Island. On the Royal Island, they are not just more like for the families, it's just more for the couples, but for others, you can also shade for the family, especially Paradise Island and Sun Island. Holiday Inn Resort Kanduma is very famous with its kids club because it's one of the biggest also in Maldives, and it's very keen for those who are interested in very nice waves, because a lot of surfers, especially from Australia, they're choosing this property regarding it. Kandima Maldives, I'm sure that those who even not sell in Maldives, they've heard about Kandima because a lot of bloggers, influencers, there was in Kandima already. And it's one of the most active resort in Maldives nowadays. It's also working at the moment. They have around 10 bars and restaurants and a lot of facilities for the guests, and also one of the hugest kids club for the guests. And even for infants, they have sleeping room and different master classes for painting, cooking, and doing all that interesting things. They have the fullest shadow, and it's really very keen for children to go there. Banyan Tree Binfarum, Hard Rock Maldives, as I said already, and for those who are traveling with really small children, they in family villas, they can have all the needful, like for bottles, for food, and etc. San Siamiro Valley, it's one of the also newly open property, just a little bit more than 1 year of open, and it works just on all-inclusive. Cocoon Maldives are also very popular on the urban markets as with very nice Italian management, nice beaches, and the food. Lily Beach Resort and Spa, at the moment, it's the best place with platinum plan, which means all-inclusive, which provides guests the best food and beverage options. Pullman Maldives is located on the south part of Maldives, and it was just opened after pandemic. And I must say that their transcendental all-inclusive are also incredible, and the island is really very huge. With different types of villas, which could be accommodated really huge companies of friends and families, yes. And Ayada Maldives also can provide all-inclusive meal plans with Turkish delights and everything on island. It's also placed in the same area as Pullman. Emerald Maldives, for those who are choosing Ra Atoll, they also working just in all-inclusive meal plan, and also quite big island, very beautiful island in Ra Atoll with nice house reefs, very nice beaches, and special bicycles for riding on the sand. Hideaway Resort and Spa, as I made a point already, it's on the northern part of Maldives, and it's quite different nature there. I can't say that it's the same palms as you may see in all other Maldives, but it looks like the sky even a little bit different. They have very amazing house reef here for those who are interested in marine life and the food. Yes, for sure. They also have all-inclusive here and very green island. Heritage Sara is the property in Ra Atoll with also unforgettable experience for all-inclusive, very nice beaches and very spacious villas with amenities of L'Occitane. Baglioni, also Italian brand, which also was finally opened, and they have very delicious cuisine. Yes, they do not have all-inclusive, but to be honest, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, each dish is so huge and so delicious. So I may say that they even do not need these extra options. And Baglioni could be recommended for the guests who have been in many places, visited different resorts or hotels in many places, yes, but they really be very satisfied with Baglioni. This resort usually takes the rest, the head of Pirelli, the head of Formula One, and many others. Niyama private island, yes, also pay your attention, it's very close to Kandima. South Suri Atoll, as I may say already, and Lux North Mali Atoll, it's very close to the Velana International Airport. As I said, Kandima, it's also one of the biggest islands at the moment, and we have here different possibilities, especially such things like Family Sky Studios, where you have all possibilities for the adults and also for the kids. And for the kids, they have especially 2 floors beds. Regarding South Area Atoll, I must say that it's also a very huge island at the moment, and they also have a buggy service, so they can provide you bicycles to ride on it. Regarding the snorkeling, I would like to make a point that regarding the water villas on the left side, they have nice house reef, but they are not really recommended as if everyone from the island will join this water villa snorkeling, it will be very less privacy for the guests who stay there. But every day, daily, twice a day, Lux provide special transfer free of charge for the guests to in a few minutes just by ride for snorkeling for a nice house reef. Hard Rock Maldives, yes, as I've mentioned, with all needful option for the guests, San Siamaru Valley and all inclusive. Cinnamon Valley, as I said already, yes, it's a very nice average property resort, which was totally renovated and has a very nice cuisine. I may say that if you may see somewhere placed Cinnamon, regarding Maldives, they have 4 resorts at the moment: Cinnamon Valley, Lido by Cinnamon, Cinnamon Hakura Hora, and Cinnamon Valley Fushi. These 4 resorts, it always means very nice, delicious food and very nice attitude of the staff. So, highly recommended for those who would like to stay in Maldives and have everything with special budget. Diego Faro Island, Candima Maldives, as I also mentioned, Hard Rock, San Siamo Valley. One of the basic all-inclusive, yes, because it's not very expensive property. San Siam Valley, San Siam Villa Reefs, they are close to each other. They also have very nice house reefs, and they both work just on all-inclusive. Cocoon Maldives has different types of meals and also all-inclusive. Lily Beach, as I may say it, and I can just repeat that it's the best all-inclusive at the Maldives nowadays. It's not just a word of resort life, yes, it also a lot of awards from different fields in this year by year. Pullman, Ayada Maldives, Emerald Maldives, Hideaway Resort, Heritage Sara, and Lux South Area Atoll. So I'm sure that next time when the clients come to you and they would be interested in all-inclusive, you will know definitely what to say or what to search in to you online. Regarding our exclusive, I may say that at the moment it's the Gufaro Island, and as I say, they just opened after renovation. 20 new water villas, they consist of pools. 20 villas, they not consist of pools, and before I said there was no water villas here. So they have 2 branches, with pools and without pool. 2 new bedroom Boaco family villas, which can accommodate it for 8 parks. New Sangui suite, it's villa number 1, so it's really very privacy. It has its own living room, small gym, and even sauna. It's should be mentioned that we also have the very beautiful beach, which called Valley Side. And on that beach, it's 20 Valley Beach villas, and 10 of them at the moment was renovated, and they were added a pool. More spacious place for the rest into the pool bar, so it's one of the most noisy place on the island. New gym and new clinic, and also very nice conditions of spa. The island is not very huge, but I must say that it's very green and artificial. Heritage are, as I may say it, very nice resort who is possible to recommend for those who would like to come to Maldives as VIP clients. Best house reef. I know that at the moment it's one of the most asked questions. Yes, that's why we placed it here, and I want to mention. Best house reef, it's not always the best beach. Best house reef, it could be also not always the best food or the best renovated villa, but Sometimes it also compare all of these options. So I want just to make and highlight Lido by Cinnamon. Very nice compare to price and to accommodation. And if the guests are allowed for diving or for snorkeling, here in Lido they find one of the best house reefs because in compared to worldwide, Lido by Cinnamon has the 9th best house reef ever in the world. But regarding the beach, you will find just a small part of it here. So mostly those who are staying here for snorkeling or for diving, they would love this property. And if you're coming just for the beach, we are not sure that it's a correct choice to stay in the Lido. Adaran Clapronali, yes, just 40 minutes ride by speedboat from airport. Villa Mendo, one of Crown Champer properties in Atoll, and it's really highly recommended with snorkeling. Digufaro, as I may say, because it's also based in Ba Atoll, and they put a lot of coral farms, so you can find a lot of fish here and stingrays. Angsana and Huru, Dutch coral reefs, they have their own dropped into the ocean ship. Yeah, it was there maybe more than for 30 years, I guess. And it's very interesting option for the divers because it's just 14 meters above. And I can say that it's one of the best places where I have seen so much fish there. Dutch exotic. San Siam Vilu Reef, and you also can find a lot of turtles here. Cocoon Maldives. Lily Beach has one of the most alive coral reef in Maldives, so really highly recommended. And by the way, they also have incredible beach. It also has a lot of specific and species of fishes. Kudafushi in Atoll, you can find even sometimes manta rays here or dolphins just close to the beach. Finol and Amila Fushi is for the guests with some benefits, I mean like for VIP clients. Conrad Maldives, Nantara Kihava, Dusitani. Dusitani is really very highly recommended. It's very green, very huge, and it's always makes your clients to become repeaters. Horavali, Maldives and Kudados, they're very close to each other and they have all species of fish there. Park Hayat on the south part of Maldives, Vakaro Maldives in Ba Atoll, and Seneva Fushi, also one of the best eco properties in Maldives, which is also located in Ba Atoll. So, as you may see from my natural presentation, everyone deserves Maldives, yeah, and everyone can find in Maldives sometimes which belong to its heart or to its soul. If you would like to have a rest and to find the calmest place, you can come to Maldives. If you would like to have diving experience, it's also the right choice. If you are very keen to see the turtles, mantas, wild sharks, just find the correct place for your stay, and we are sure that Maldives will be not only a one-time visit for you. And if you're afraid that it will be a lot of extras on the island, if you will choose your holidays in Maldives, be sure that you can find something upon your budget to come to Maldives with all-inclusive meal plans. So we have a lot of options here, and the main thing for you is to propose the correct for your guest, because your guest is our guest here. Regarding the formalization trip, I would like to say that we also provided fam trips for our partners on regular basis, and the COVID makes our plans becomes quite different, quite tough. And I must say that since this year, since May, we are going also to provide fam trips for those who are allowed to travel. For those who are allowed to sell Maldives, we will be happy to show you the basic properties, properties which is newly opened or renovated, and to put the most common picture of Maldives, and which helps you to sell the destinations. So please be in touch with your main partner, with Tour Baltic, and we will be happy to have you here. And one also main point regarding social medias, because at the moment we live in this world with screens of our Instagrams, Facebooks, and now from TikToks. But I would like to say that we have two main points. One, it's our account at Facebook, Resort Life Family. It's not a huge group, but it's a group for our CIS market and Eastern Europe and also Baltic countries, which is placed on mostly in Russian. And you can find here some main points regarding new special offers, some news from resorts, some renovations, some updates of the resorts, and many other successful needs. And regarding the resort life travel in Instagram, I may say that here you can find a lot of real videos and photos from our online inspections, which we are putting here, and we add also a lot of descriptions here. If you are not allowed to use it on Russian, we can say that we also have the second account. It's in English, and you can just put resortlife.travel. Yes, and it's our international account. We also can see all the needful information. So thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for this wonderful experience to our partners, because it's also the first webinar this year for me, and actually it's the first webinar for me on English. So I beg your pardon if it was not totally understandable or it was not so good. I will practice on it, but we will take care of our guests and your client in Maldives, and I really do hope that you received today very successful information. So I'm ready to reply for the questions if we have questions. So Simone.
Yes, so thank you, dear Daria. Thank you for your presentation. Hope that all of participants have found some interesting and new information for them. I would like to apologize for one thing. Because of some technical issues, this webinar didn't let to write questions on a current time during this webinar, but instead of that, we sent like a question form via newsletter to all our agents, and hope you found it in your inbox and you had time to write the questions. If you didn't or you didn't have enough time for read it, feel free to write them after the webinar, and we will ask Daria to write the answers to your questions in a written form. But actually, we have got several questions during this short time, and I will read them. So the first question is about insurance. Is insurance for COVID is required upon arrival to Maldives?
Thank you for the question. It's very nice to hear that, but I meant to say that it's upon to those who will be sitting in immigration one upon arrival. So it's very highly recommended to have it, but it couldn't be any requested. I may say that when I was coming here at the end of October, the main thing that it was required for me, it was the number of seats in the airplane. So they didn't even ask me anything. But I may say that all the travelers which were traveling, even my friends, my colleagues, everyone has different questions. So we, like DMC company, we are very keen for you to have this insurance, because we are living in a post-pandemic world, and it's very important for you to have the insurance while you are traveling to any country, not even to Maldives. So please, if you want to save some money and not to pay for the insurance, I highly recommend you not to do that, because please choose the most full insurance for you to travel to any place at the moment, because abroad it's always very expensive to become very ill. And at the moment, as I know from CS Market, unfortunately can't say anything for Baltic countries, but we had some clients from serious markets who got COVID here, and the insurance helps them to cover their stay in Maldives. So it's very helpful. So we highly recommend to have it.
Yes, thank you. Insurance is very every time recommended. The second question is about the test. If clients need to show the test on arriving in hometown, and where they can make this test in Maldives. So the question
depends where the clients. It depends where the clients will going to stay. So if you stay, I don't know, in Kandima, Maldives, you're going to present in Kandima, Maldives, because in each property, each resort has its own small clinic. Yes, they have professional doctors. And if you will open even some portals with job offers for Maldives, the most required at the moment is nurses and the doctors. So each resort for sure has the doctors. And I must say that if you are staying in some budgetly guest house, you will pass it in the hospital, mostly in the hospital, like in Mali or Hulumali or Maafushi, wherever you stay. And it's also very fast, nothing special there. And I also had the same experience as basically we have office in Hulumali, and before New Year we had such experience. So it's very simple to do. Yes.
So the similar question from another participant is, where tourists can make a COVID test in Maldives before returning back to homeland, and how much it costs?
The same as I told before, the price will be depends where are you staying. Each resort has its own price. It also depends a few moments, so I just can explain why it's quite expensive. If you are staying in some resorts, they put their price for deliver, yes, because all these boxes with these biomaterials, they are traveling with the other guests on group transfers, on seaplanes, domestic speedboats. Because when you come into any hospital, you can see that representatives from different resorts, they put boxes with different resort brands. Yes, they also put it to the hospital, and you may see it. So the price could be from 100 to 180, and it also included the taxes, like in Maldives for anything. So at the moment we have a link with the most updated prices. I also will share with you, just send me a mail. I will update it to you, and we're also trying to update it from time to time, because in some resorts they got more lower prices at the moment. It also depends if they have a doctor very close to resort, or if they are passing it on the island, or the island is possible to provide some experience in the hospital. So it also depends about the conditions. And if the guests stay, for example, in somewhere in Hulumali in guest house, I can say that it will require around $66 in Treetop Hospital.
Yes, thank you. I think the answer was really good and explained. This is the question, additional one. One of our participants writes that she has tourists who would like to stay in 2 different hotels in Maldives during their vacation. Should tourists make a COVID test when moving from one hotel to another during their holidays?
Thank you for your question. At the moment, did you say the name of the hotel?
No, the name wasn't specified. Just in general, if they are moving, if it is required to make a new one test.
Thank you for that question. Thank you. It's really a very good question, because at the moment we also have some changes. we're faced with new updates from some resorts. Usually when it's split stay, yes, to be accommodated in few resorts, usually a resort like Resort A and Resort B, they contact to each other and they put special requests to HPA. It's like Health Protection Agency, like Ministry of Health in Maldives. And if it puts like, okay, approved, you can move. But at the moment, some resorts, I may say that at the moment, I know just 3 resorts at the moment, even, yes, around 3, who added PCR tests required for split stays, like for themselves, yes, to protect themselves more, that you are for sure healthy guests are coming, because we have resorts who is not allowed split stay to be the second resort for split stay. Like they invited the guests after international flight, but if you want to come to them after some other resort, they are not allowed. Even if you pay for the PCR test. Some resorts, they are allowed to have you for after the first property, but they will require you to pay this PCR test and to send the negative result. And after that, they will confirm. So it depends. It really depends. So it's better to have it upon request. Just please finalize, clarify this information, because unfortunately it can be constant at the moment. So the rules could be changed even from the resort side, and it's not very comfortable for DMCs, for tour operators, and for the guests. But to be honest, it's really very important, and we understand the resorts, because one COVID guest brings a lot of loss to resort, and it's double protection for them.
Thank you for the answer. So if anyone has the request to stay in 2 hotels, so it is we can suggest to write like a request, yes, to check with these hotels, and then we will give an answer. But in the worst case, we will need to do additional tests while staying at the destination. Okay, let's move. We have more questions. It is said that nowadays, in case if client before departure to Maldives will have a positive COVID test and cannot travel to Maldives, then we understand everything is already booked and paid. So the question is, are hotels open to change the travel days or dates, or to make refunds? What is their position?
Usually it depends also about the resort.
Sorry for interrupting you. I think we faced some technical problems. We didn't hear you after my question. Can we stop for a while to check the connection?
They can.
Still some problems. We're very sorry for inconvenience, but Maldives is so far away and the internet is not supporting us this time.
You can make an extra delivery mails to all the agencies.
Yes, now I think everything came all right. Connection became stable. Can you say something, Daria, that we would guarantee that it is going well now?
Yes, Yes, I'm here.
Yes,
I'm
now
here
it's
well.
everything good. Mhm. So we are very sorry that we had these technical problems, and I think nobody understood anything from your answer to my last question. And I'm sorry for inconvenience, but we will ask you to repeat your answer one more time regarding those refunds and possibility to change the dates.
Okay. I can say that it also depends about the property and their cancellation policy. During the pandemic time, all resorts in Maldives become very flexible, and it's really very helpful to all of us. And if some situation is happening with you under cancellation policy, it could be refunded for you absolutely totally from our side and from side of the hotel. But others refunds, it's up to operator and airlines. Yes, it's just for accommodation, I can say. If it happens like cancellation policy is already here, yes, and the guest faced with COVID positive test, mostly time our resort can propose to change the dates. Yes, they can propose you a period of time to use the dates to change the bookings without penalties, because everyone understands that it's not your choice. Yes, and I may say that we haven't such issue like it was 100% refund. We haven't faced with situation when resort was not allowed to help to move the dates or doing something. The main thing you may know that if you have this positive test for PCR test, you were faced with it, to send us your cancellation, you need to provide us this proof, yes, this positive test. You need to send us the copy of result on English so we can share it with resort and to propose you the options, what we can do.
Yes, thank you. One more question about using masks.
Okay.
Is it mandatory to use and wear masks on the face in shops, restaurants, and other public places?
Yes. If you're going to some souvenir shop in any resort, you need to wear a mask. If you will forget, close to the entrance, the staff will ask you to do that. If you haven't with you, they will provide it to you. Regarding the restaurants, as I've said, on lunch, breakfast, and dinner, if it's a la carte in luxury resort, or if it's a buffet in some other quality of resort, anyway, you need to have sanitize your hands, yes, and you need to wear a mask everywhere. But if you are going to have sunbath on sun desk, or you are staying in your villa, or you are just walking around, no need, because in Maldives, even if it's 100% occupancy, it feels like no one stays there because it's very privacy everywhere.
Yes, thank you for your answer. One more question for clarification came again about COVID test at the hotels. If all the hotels give a possibility to do a COVID test at their property, all the clients need to go somewhere to the main cities or to the capital to do that.
Do I understand correctly? If in the resorts happen some COVID cases, did the clients need to go somewhere to PCR test?
No, not like that. It was like very question very similar to before we had about COVID test at hotels. If all the hotels give a possibility to do this COVID test before clients coming back, do they need to go, somewhere?
Otherwise, they are not allowed to have the license to work at the moment. Each of them has this possibility. Their main thing, yes, thank you for the questions, because I need something to add. To arrival on each resort at the moment, everyone is fulfill the form like I have no any symptoms, etc. And it's always one extra paper sheet when you can put like if you need PCR test on departure or not, because it's upon your request. And if you put in this form like I don't need PCR test on departure, and later you will get this information like, oh, I need this PCR test, and the resort will miss this time for you to pass this PCR test and get results in time before departure. So it's very necessary and needful. So we highly recommend each agency to share this information to their clients. If they need this PCR test on departure, please pay attention to the guests, because sometimes they just become very lost on arrival and can forget about it.
Yes, it's very important. Thank you for your answer. Is there limited excursions due to COVID, or all the excursions are suggested for the clients?
Okay, thank you for your questions. Very nice question. At the moment, all excursions are allowed except visiting of local islands. So to visit local islands to see how locals living there, what they're doing, it's prohibited at the moment. And I may say that if it's group excursions for cruises or for fishing, it's also could be not very crowded. Yes, like it can be before.
Yes, thank you. What happens if tourists COVID test is positive in Maldives, but do not need any hospitalization, but only a self-isolation, where they can self-isolate in Maldives in these cases?
If the guest has positive test and they have no any symptoms, otherwise they're not able to leave the property where they are staying already. The main thing that resort can propose, or we can check for them, is to change their room category maybe to somewhere cheaper to save some money for them, yes, for their stay. But obviously the guests have to stay in resort for 14 days. And then pass a new PCR test while it would be showing that it's negative, yes. If it happened, by the way, with the family, like the family best PCR test on departure, and no, some of the family is positive, others negative, can leave, yes, but usually all of them are staying. But they will be isolated in one villa. They are not able to go to the ocean. They are not able to have any contacts, and all the food will be bring to them into the room.
Yes, thank you for that answer. Our restaurants are open in Iceland. Everything is working, all the services.
In resorts?
Yes, I believe it. They keep their mind the resorts, the hotels.
Okay. I'll reply if it's also for the guest houses on local islands, mostly is open. If it's regarding resorts, I may say that it's regarding the occupancy. So if the resort is quite huge and they have, I don't know, maybe 10 bars and restaurants, and occupancy at the moment is 50% only, be sure that partly they will be closed, some restaurants, yes, but for sure always remain open. Some a la carte also open to have some varieties in some bars, or they can be open just like twice or 3 times per week. So yeah, the guests can have choice.
We have 2 more questions. So the one is it's asking to indicate the best hotels for families. You had actually in your presentation the whole list, but maybe just you can indicate one more time top 3 or top 5 hotels for families.
But I can say that it will be on our experience and our opinion, because even the list that I have gave you, it's not that common, because we have more than 150 properties in Maldives at the moment, and still this year will come some new. So I can say that for friends and families, it's always a very nice choice of Cinnamon Valley. It's Lily Beach Resort and Spa. For more high-level clients, it's Hideaway Resort and Spa. It's also Emerald Resort and Spa, and I think maybe Pullman at the moment. Vakaru Maldives and Kandima Maldives, something like this. Sun Island also from Budgetly Resorts. Kuredu Island.
Sorry for interrupting. So I believe after the presentation, already maybe on Monday, we will list and send the list of hotels you were suggesting during this presentation for different segments by newsletter, that agencies could have it just on their hand. One more question about the hotels. Do we have imported alcohol drinks? And do hotels accommodate 2 males in the room?
Thank you for the question. Yes, it's not a problem for Maldives. I don't know that maybe you're faced with the opinion that Maldives is a Muslim country, but by the way, in resorts we also have alcohol drinks, and it's also allowed to be accommodated to men or to women. So it's no problem. And regarding the alcohol drinks, I may say that it's also imported, because in Muslim countries there is no production of alcohol drinks. So it just depends on the level of the resort. If it's more budgetly like Cinnamons, more specials you will have from Sri Lanka, like rum, beer, some house wine. And if it's some more higher quality properties, like, I don't know, maybe Huravali or Mirihi, they have huge variety of rum from different parts of the world, and house wine cellars, and you can choose South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, and many, many others.
Thank you for the answer. More or less, what I have checked, we answered all the questions, and we really get a lot of them. But as I said before, in that form we sent to you, if you still during today will have additional questions, you can write them down, and on Monday we will share with Daria, and we will ask her to answer if it will be some new topics. And for sure, we will share with all our agents what you wrote, that they would have the clear picture and clear understanding of the products in Maldives. So thank you very much. We took 1 hour and a half for the webinar. It was really interesting. And thank you one more time, Daria. And thank you all for participating.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was my pleasure to share with you the following information, and I really hope that all the information was very necessary and helpful for you, and we would be very happy to have your clients here in Maldives.
Yes, we hope we will send some clients, and we will enjoy all the paradise what Maldives are suggesting. So thank you. Have a nice day to all of you. And as I said, we will keep in touch for sharing with you questions that came from our agents. Thank you and bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.